Hey Periscopers! This is Monica A. Coleman, and this is the Periscope Bipolar Faith. Thank you, Ray T. Blue, for joining us. I am an hour later than usual, so some of you might be here. Some of you are like, where were you an hour ago? So an hour ago, I was on a webinar talking about process theology, that other part of my life. Actually, it all blends together. But for those of you who are joining us, again, I am Monica A. Coleman, and I am a professor of religion, and I'm based in Los Angeles, California, and I am the author of the forthcoming book, Bipolar Faith, A Black Woman's Journey with Depression and Faith. Thank you for joining us, FM George. I thought that might be you, the same Ray that was on the webinar. Hi. I feel like I've just been talking for an hour, so this might not be so long because my head's like, woo, that's a lot of work. Good to see you again. Thank you for joining us, FM George, who joined us earlier. Thank you for joining Ryan and Guelos. Thank you for joining us. Again, this is Monica A. Coleman, and I do this Periscope called Bipolar Faith, where I answer the question that people ask me more than anything else. And that question is, what are my spiritual practices, and what do I do to be successful? I put that in air quotes because success doesn't always feel, what some people call successful doesn't always feel successful to me. Successful as a person living with a depressive condition. So yesterday I was like, oh, I'm just still here. I'm just hanging on. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you for joining us. I think a St. Louis Blues fan, maybe. Thank you for joining us again, FM George. And I'm still a bit sleep deprived thanks to that really cute little kid who wakes up way too early in the morning. But I have a little more energy today because I've just been talking about process theology with my friend Trip Fuller, and that just gives a lot of energy. Thank you. So, well, I seem like I was just coasting. Yeah, a lot of brain power though. Thank you for joining us, Francis, and talking about things that are fun. I feel like I've just been talking, so I don't want to talk too much today. Thank you for joining us, True Anglican. I saw another name just flash on. So feel free to invite your followers to check out with us. You can just do that by swiping left if you're on an iPhone, or swiping from bottom to top if you are on a Android. I've had both. So today I want to talk about endorsements. So I also said I would talk about the making of Bipolar Faith, my book. Thank you for joining us, Sicko Society. And so, you know, when you pick up a book in the bookstore or someone assigns you a book, hi, oh, another person who's joining us. Thank you from our webinar earlier. Thank you for joining us, Benjamin Brown. Yes, this is a little religious. Talk about Bipolar Faith. So my forthcoming book is called Bipolar Faith. Thank you for joining us, Andy One. And you know, when you get a book, you pick up a book, on the back cover, usually there are these things we call endorsements. They're also called, people call them blurbs. I like to use the technical word, which is endorsements, where somebody has read your book and said something really nice about your book. And when you read it, you go, oh, wow, so-and-so loved this book. I'm going to love the book too. This other writer I love said something great about the book. I'm going to check this book out. So, thank you all for joining us. So I'm talking about getting endorsements, and part of the process when you're engaged in publishing a book is getting endorsements, where you ask people who you think have some expertise, who hopefully are your friends, hey, will you read an early copy of my book and say something nice about it? You ask for these endorsements, or will you blurb my book? And it's kind of like the karma in the writer world, right? Everyone needs endorsements. And so presumably if you have a little stature, I guess whatever stature is, in your field, somebody's going to ask you, hey, will you blurb my book? Will you tell people why my book is great? And they'll say, hey, so-and-so liked it. President Barack Obama said it was great. I'm going to buy this book, right? Oprah liked it. I'm going to buy it. No need to worry. Oprah and Barack Obama have not read my book yet. But if they're your friends, send them the book. I teach religion at Claremont School of Theology. Someone's asking, where do I teach? And so with endorsements, you're asking people to go out of their way and take some time and read your book, and then take some more time and say something nice about it. And it's a real process in some ways of ingratiation, right? Where you're just saying, hey, I know you're busy. I'm busy too. Will you please do this for me? And that's a little easier to ask of people you know. But I've had to ask some people I didn't know. Like, I know someone who knows you, or I know you're a leading expert in your field, and you don't know me, but I think you might like my book. Will you please read it and give it an endorsement? And a lot of people said yes, and they read it, and they said nice things about it. And I can leak those out to you once my publisher tells you I can. What does this have to do with spiritual practices? Glad you asked. For me, a really big part of living in a depressive condition and really a spiritual practice is asking for help. And is having to ask people sometimes to do nice stuff for you or to do something for you when you need it. Like, I don't have it all together today. Can you help me? Can you help me with childcare? Can you help me make sure I eat something today? Can you check on me to see if I'm okay? And it's actually a spiritual practice because it's this kind of hubris, really, even this kind of up from the bootstraps mentality we have. Like, I got this. I'm okay. It's just me and God, and we're rocking and rolling, and we can do it. And we can't, right? We live in this radically interdependent world where we need help, and we depend on other people for our well-being. Even driving, you depend on someone else to follow the rules like you do so they don't hit you, right? We're so often dependent on other people. And for me, asking for an endorsement is kind of like an encapsulation of that process of asking someone for help because I think you might have it, of asking someone to do something nice for me. And you give them very little in return. Like, you'll get a great copy of the book. You don't get money. You don't get accolades. No one thinks you're like the king or the queen. It's something you do out of the kindness of your heart, something you do because you understand it's part of the process. And that's what it's like so often asking for help, particularly with your friends or with doctors or even with strangers. It's just you needing to ask someone to do something like, I've got no reward for you. I've got no money for you. I've just got this somewhat broken down person who may or may not get it together. But please do this. I would really appreciate it. And I think it's kind of a miniature example of God's grace, right? That God's always offering that to us, just offering great stuff to us, offering nice stuff to us, giving us a break when we need a break. And we do it. God will do it even if we don't ask. But sometimes, what is that wonderful book Anne Lamott has, right? Help, thanks, wow, right? That sometimes the prayer is just help. And that's kind of what endorsements are like. It's like praying help, asking people for help, saying, can you please do something nice for me because I really need it right now. And I'm one of those type A personalities, right? Those driven people, overachievers, who, doesn't like to ask for help. And I've had to really just get over it and get over myself. Thank you. Someone says they like my dreads. I've had to just say, hey, I need help. And it's not cute. It's not glamorous. I don't have it all together. I am not the rock star I want to be. I'm just this person trying, struggling every day, a new day. And that is a really big spiritual practice for me. Just saying, I don't always know what I'm doing. I don't have it together. God, help a sister out. Asking my friends, hey, help me out. Will you please do something just nice and generous for me because I need it right now. So that's what I wanted to share. So it's kind of about endorsements and how I had to kind of beg and plead and ask and remind people, and can you please get it in by the deadline to different people, asking for things. Maybe it's what people in development feel like when they have to raise money, right? Say, I hope you like it. It means a lot to me. But also about, that's a spiritual practice, to ask for help and to check in with somebody and to see how they're doing. And people doing that for me too, out of the kindness of your hearts. So I hope you've enjoyed just this few couple moments I've had a chance to chat about endorsements, asking for help, and how that's a spiritual practice. And somebody asked, am I going on tour in Canada? I do not have plans to go to Canada, but if somebody in Canada sends for me, I will come. I think I'm closer to Vancouver, being in LA, than Toronto, but Toronto's the part that I know since I'm from Michigan originally. Oh, look, the sun is setting a little bit, so I don't have to squint my eyes to see you all. Anyway, thank you so much for checking in with us. I'm here every Monday through Friday at 4:30 p.m. for 5-10 minutes. And if you enjoyed this, check out the book, Bipolar Faith. You can pre-order on Amazon. Use the hashtag Bipolar Faith. And this is Monica A. Coleman talking about spiritual practices and the making of bipolar faith. Thank you for the hearts. I feel love. And, some people, if you arrive late or midway, you can just check out the replay. And I'm going to hang up in a minute, and you can check out the replay. And it'll be up for 24 hours on Periscope and on Twitter, where I'm at Monica A. Coleman. And I also put these all up on YouTube as well. So you can find my channel and give me a day or two. And I try to get all of them up under Bipolar Periscopes. And you can, if you really want to see all of them, they're all there. Or just check out one that you missed. So it's good seeing you, Periscopers, and I will look forward to checking back in with you tomorrow.